Caleb said he's like lined up with the edge. I know, why did
Good evening, Red Hawk Nation. We're about to get started in about 5 minutes, so if I could please ask everyone to have a seat. We are about to get started in 5 minutes. Go Cedar!
As Audra walks the stage, do back up. Yes. Do back up on stage. Your senior year, go back up.
I'm not supposed to do that.
Go back up, like,
Where?
on the stage.
I'm not gonna.
When you graduate. When you graduate.
Oh, when I graduate,
Like,
I'll do it off it. Off it?
On it or on. Hey, you could do that with off it. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. I'll hook you up with that.
If everyone could please rise. Thank you, Mrs. Martin, Aud, and T for leading in our class of 2026. If I could please ask everyone to remain standing, turn our attention to our colors. Gentlemen, please remove your hats and render the proper salute with hand on heart as we honor our country this evening with the singing of our national anthem by our very own Bella Voce Choir.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets heard there, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, choir. You may be seated. At this time, we ask our band and choir to join together in our alma mater song, written by our very own Mr. N, Beloved Red. Cedar Springs were filled with pride. May we red hearts ne'er divide. Unite us as we sing this song together, side by side. Thank you, band and choir. My name's Todd Simmons. I'm blessed to serve in leadership here at Cedar Springs High School, and I'm going to start and end with a ridiculous amount of Thanksgiving. First of all, how classy and how champion an event is this? How incredible this setting, and how much work was poured into the planning and the implementation of this very night. I want to give special recognition to Mrs. Martin and her team. Our facilities, maintenance and care team, our IT and AV team, our central office team, our band and choir team, the teams. This does not happen unless all parts pull together to make a greater whole. I could not be more proud to be a small part of this team here at Cedar Springs. I also want to give a tremendous amount of thanks to this class of 2026, our seniors, our soon-to-be graduates of the Cedar Springs High School. This class is extra special to me because we came in together. I'm hoping we're not going out together. But you guys know this. If I hope I've shown it not by my words, but more by my actions, that you guys mean an incredible amount to me. I'll always remember our very first orientation together in the auditorium when I had to toss my boy Dougie Fresh out. But today, we're here to celebrate that you guys persevered, that you chose your personal best, and that you're leaving a champion legacy here at Cedar Springs High School. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to also introduce the folks that are here on the stage. Our superintendent, Mr. Smith, Mr. Johns, Mrs. Covey, and then our school board, Mrs. Reed, Mrs. Bowser, Mrs. Patton, Mr. Schaffner, Mrs. Slager, Mr. Gilmore, and Mr. Willett. And then we're also joined by our Valedictorian and Salutatorian, Emily and Thomas, who you'll hear from later. At this time, I invite Mr. Smith to the stage to welcome our guests.
Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Education and the entire Cedar Springs Public Schools family, it is my honor to welcome the graduating class of 2026, parents, family members, distinguished guests, friends, and staff members to this commencement celebration. Tonight, we are fortunate to be able to gather together as a community to this great commencement celebration. Tonight, we celebrate all that you have accomplished in the classroom as students, and also, we are here to celebrate with you for the people that you've become. And tonight, we share in your excitement for the adventures that you will encounter in the future. In addition to applauding the individual accomplishments of these outstanding students, it's fitting that we recognize the fact that none of you, even as talented as you are, would have reached this juncture in life without a team of individuals who have worked tirelessly at your side to support your efforts. Class of 2026, please pause, stand, turn, and give your loving supporters a hearty round of applause. Thank you. Graduates, your accomplishments as of May 21st, 2026 are just the beginning. Think back to how much you knew on the very first day of kindergarten. Now, think back to how much you know on the very last day of your senior year. It is easy to be better than you were 13 years ago. Similarly, you'll find that it's easier to be better than you were 9 short months ago. What a majority of us find most challenging is to be better than we were yesterday. To be better than you were yesterday, you must focus on doing the little things to the absolute best of your abilities and to give yourself grace when you don't reach success the first time. My mom used to remind me on a regular basis that failure isn't fatal and success isn't final. Our capacity to grow over time is one of the many things that makes life so special. Former president and CEO of Ford Motor Company, Jim Hackett, spoke of time in 3 dimensions. Hackett spoke it down into before, now, and next as it relates to our journey on earth. So tonight, we celebrate together. Be mindful of your before. Think of all that you have accomplished and all of those who have been at your side in your quest so far. Consider your now and be present with family and friends throughout this graduation season. And lastly, get ready for what is coming next for each of you. Use each day as an opportunity to grow. If you embrace that mindset, you will find yourself on a path that will make a profound impact on the world around you. Thank you for the honor of serving as your superintendent. Please stay connected to the Cedar Springs family long into the future, and let us know how we can support you, serve you, and hopefully support and serve your family at some point in time in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. S. This time, we'd like to invite our band back to center stage as they play Mount Everest. Tonight, they'll be directed by our senior drum major, Miss Isabella Galperin. Thanks, sis. Thanks, man. So talented, so inspiring. I'm going to ask our crowd, just as a little housekeeping note, please try to limit your side conversations. Just asking that respectfully. A lot of work went into this from our band, our choir, and these upcoming 3 guest speakers. If you could just lock in and show them that respect, it'd be much appreciated. Our first guest speaker, a real honor to introduce her, as I've gotten to know her family very well, and again have an incredible amount of the aforementioned respect for her. Our salutatorian for the class of 2026, Miss Emily Stevens.
Good evening, families, friends, staff, Board of Education, and most importantly, the graduates. When I first started thinking about what I wanted to do for a speech, I knew that I wanted it to represent us as a graduating class and also for it to be memorable. I wanted it to be something that would stick with all of the graduates here today. So I started thinking about what graduation means to all of us. And honestly, I think it means learning how to keep going and growing. Not perfectly, not fearlessly, just consistently. That's why I kept coming back to one word, grad. Not just because that's what we are today, but because I think it represents what got us here. Goals, resilience, achievements, and dreams. To start off, the G in grad stands for goals. When we entered high school, most of us had some kind of picture in our mind of what these 4 years would look like. Maybe it was getting good grades, making a sports team, finding friends, getting into college, or just surviving freshman year. Some goals were huge, while others were small. And the truth is, goals are rarely accomplished in a dramatic fashion. They're built quietly, through alarm clocks you don't want to answer, through assignments you don't want to finish, through practices, rehearsals, shifts at work, and nights where giving up sounded easier. Most success is built little by little every day. And that leads to the R in grad, which is resilience. Because if there's one thing this class understands, it's that plans change. We've all had moments where things didn't go as planned. We failed tests we studied for, lost games we thought we'd win, drifted away from people we thought we would always be friends with, questioned ourselves more times than we'd probably admit. But resilience is not pretending that things are easy. It's continuing anyway. I think resilience is one of the most underrated forms of strength because it isn't always noticeable. Sometimes resilience looks like showing up to school when your motivation is gone. Sometimes it's asking for help. Sometimes it's trying again after embarrassment, disappointment, or failure. And every person sitting here today has done that in some way. That's what makes this accomplishment meaningful. Which brings me to the A in grad, achievement. We tend to believe that achievement only means trophies, titles, high scores, or acceptance letters. But achievement is much bigger. It is growth. The person you were 4 years ago would be shocked by who you are now. Not because any of us suddenly became perfect adults, but because we learned things no textbook could teach us. We learned how to adapt, lead, lose, rebuild confidence after setbacks, and become ourselves even while everyone else was still figuring themselves out too. Achievement isn't always measured by where you end up. Sometimes it's measured by how much you refuse to quit. And finally, D for dreams. Dreams change as we grow older. When we were younger, dreams felt distant and huge, like future careers, success, and changing the world. Now they feel more real and more personal. For some people here, the dream is college. For others, it's military service, work, trade school, independence, stability, or simply figuring out what comes next. And the important thing is this: there is no single correct dream. Comparison makes us think life is a race, but it isn't. We're all moving toward different futures at different speeds. Success doesn't have one definition, even though social media tries to convince us otherwise. What matters is whether the life you build is meaningful to you. So as we leave this chapter behind us, remember that being a grad is more than a title we earn today. Our goals remind us to keep moving forward. Our resilience reminds us we can survive difficult moments. Our achievements remind us to recognize how far we've already come and the people who helped get us here. And our dreams remind us that our story is still being written. So graduates, as we go out into the world, remember that we are not defined by the grades we earned, the sports we played, or the activities listed under our names. We're defined by the effort, courage, and determination that it took to be the people sitting here today. And while none of us know exactly what the future looks like, that's okay, because these past few years have taught us that we are capable of more than we once believed. So fellow members of 2026, congratulations. Stay up, go Cedar, and remember, with goals and resilience, we can achieve our dreams.
Thanks, Sam. Now I get to introduce our 2026 valedictorian. He's a gentleman that exemplifies what a champion process can do, as it has brought about an absolute champion result. And I have the same type of mad respect for him that I do for him. That is Mr. Thomas Hilbert.
Hello, everyone. We all began as children and are now sitting here nearly 2 decades later. All of us look fairly different in character as well as in body. When I was considering what distinguished our childhood from our adulthood, one trait emerged. This was the virtue of playfulness. Playfulness in childhood was the understanding that everything in the world could be understood as a game. More subtly, it was also a complete willingness to genuinely express oneself without concern for social expectations. As a game, life was taken much less seriously. And I think this accounts for much of the sometimes unsettling positivity we observe in children. We would never see a toddler agonizing about whether they had held "I can't talk" just a second too long, or taken 3 too many goldfish crackers and appear greedy. The conscientiousness that we possess surrounding social interactions is clearly of use, but I think we may alleviate a large portion of our anxiety if we revert back to this relaxed attitude children possess. This perspective can also shape how we perceive the world. There have been many occasions where I remember certain physical features to be miles long, of enormous size. I'm somewhat disappointed when I return and the trail takes 10 minutes to walk, or the playground takes up as much space as a dozen strides. I think the reason for this discrepancy is the difference in the potential we saw in things. What was previously a shield, prison cell, or cauldron is now just a greasy cardboard box. The world has shrunk to us in our practicality, but I think it would be wonderful for the world to seem so large again. This practicality is, again, of some use, though. Occasionally, I will get a scraper cut and stare at it. I find it striking how I am not crying like I would in my very young age, and wouldn't succeed in forcing a tear out, even if I tried to imagine that the cut is producing the most earth-shattering agony and will lead to gangrene or an arm amputation. We also no longer treat bad dreams the same way that we used to. What produced a sleepless night is now shook off, maybe even forgotten at dawn. We have earned an understanding of the dangers of the world that we lacked as children. We can engage threats and make intelligent risks, discarding what we can consider unreasonable. But this practicality can become deeply overdeveloped, like a vine that strangles out a blossoming tree. We lose our creativity, our optimism, in the sense of the potential we can see in the world. Obviously, it would be bizarre if I started pretending I was a pirate, tried squeezing my 18-year-old body through a slide, or secretly resumed use of a pacifier. But this childhood spirit is of tremendous value. My position on the stage is a consequence of this attitude. Learning was always best and easiest for me when I treated it as a game and pursued it for itself. This is really quite illogical. Something will be best achieved when it is pursued, not something that gauges it. Oh, missing the second page. So, okay. What was I going to say? So, as you were sitting here, in these final racing moments, as you will rise to receive Mr. Simmons' remarkable handshake, and then with 4 hands grasp the mantle of your independence, I encourage you to recollect the memories that you had filled with this pure joy with those that have allowed it to happen. Return to this pure joy without ingenuine compliments or false smiles, but a true expression of your joy at life. And may this joy arc from now to the far ends of the lives ahead of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamachi. I learned something new every time I listened to you. And you showed some tremendous mental toughness there. Really proud of you. Okay, I'm going to invite our choir back. They'll be singing one of my absolute favorites that they've sung all year, and I think you'll enjoy it the same. It's called When Our Voices Rise.
We know our habits, we know our tendency to stay just on this side of the lines we've drawn. Beyond the baggage, we all have stories and we're just trying to find a place where we belong. Let's make a place.
Let's make a place.
Let's build a bridge.
Let's build a bridge.
I believe.
Oh, I believe.
Voices rise. There is something
That I can see.
in your eyes. Let the song
So let
be
it
the
be.
light inside we see. You and me when our voices rise.
The melodies that we string together are the tapestry to bind our hearts and minds.
We're not the same, no. We are woven into
A sacred pattern where each thread can shine.
We have a voice, we have a truth to speak.
And so we sing the harmony we seek, 'cause
I believe
I
when our
believe.
voices rise. There is something
That I can
that I hear in your cries. Something in
I
our
have
song
no
that
fear.
casts aside my fear. What I hear when our voices rise.
We grow together Love that song. Great job, choir. As our seniors return to their seats, introducing our next guest speaker who will be giving our commencement address, gives me a tremendous amount of honor. I think very, very highly of her family, her parents being longtime educators and coming from that vocation and that craft, and somebody that I've learned an incredible amount of and from the last 4 years. At this time, I welcome one of our champion educators here at Cedar Springs High School, Mrs. Jordan Covey, to the stage.
Thank you, class of 2026, members of the Board of Education, Mr. Smith and Mr. Simmons, for allowing me the honor of being here today. Parents, caregivers, families, and friends, thank you for showing up, for your support, and for sharing your incredible students with us. Class of 2026, big breath. We're here. You're here. I hope you take a moment to truly appreciate what you've accomplished. While thousands of students are graduating this month, not everyone gets to see this day. So celebrate this moment, this piece of paper, as evidence of your hard work, your perseverance, and your growth. 4 years ago, you walked into these halls as freshmen. Half of you had me in the first semester, and the other half later that year. At one point, I was teaching all 10 sections, which means I had the privilege of teaching every single freshman. What many of you didn't know at the time was that I was also learning right alongside you. I was finishing my education program and student teaching as a first-year teacher. That year, we built Newton cradles out of marbles and popsicle sticks, created hoverboards with balloons and CDs, and designed roller coasters from tubing and more marbles. In fact, I'm pretty sure some of those marble tracks ended up running completely out of my classroom door and halfway down the hall. But while you were learning physics from me, I was learning how to be an educator from you. You taught me important lessons, like maybe don't have students bring their own eggs in on an egg drop project, because that's a lot of kids riding the bus, carefully cradling those little eggs. Though I have to admit, seeing the sheer engineering genius with some of those cushionings being made entirely out of marshmallows to keep those eggs safe was worth it. We also always used physical movement to understand the math, like the day I had you skipping to calculate velocity. It was an effective lesson, though it did result in a slightly confused parent reaching out to me later that week. Apparently, when she asked her son what he had learned that day, he looked her dead in the eye and said, "How to skip." But the most important thing you taught me can't be found in any physics curriculum. You taught me that sometimes the best thing a teacher can do is remind a student that it's okay to have a bad day, as long as you don't give up. You taught me balance, what to give, when to give space, and when to push you to your full potential. I know for a fact that some of you walked into my room as freshmen never believing you'd be here. But you fought for it, and here you are. Over the years, even if I didn't have you again in class, I watched you grow. Some of you crossed my path again in different subjects, and in those moments, I was eternally grateful to get to know the new version of you. This class has experienced moments that changed you. This is when you were reminded of how fragile and meaningful life really is. In those moments, I watched you show up for each other with compassion, strength, and honesty. I watched you support one another, even when things were hard. But hard days are a part of life. They always will be. And how you respond to those days is when you will truly understand your character. And if there's one thing I know about this class, you know how to respond. You are a class that can make incredible plans, and also a class that has learned what it means when those class plans fall apart. Some of you handle it with grace, and others with frustration. But all of you have learned to keep going, and that matters. As you sit here today, each of you has a plan. They're easy to make, but learning to adapt when those plans change is where your true growth shows. Life has a way of reshaping us through the people and the moments we never saw coming. There are people with us today that I never imagined would be such an important part of my story. My husband, 20 years ago, he was sitting behind me at graduation, and he was the last person I thought I'd make a life with. I was going to move as far away from home as possible. Instead, I bought a house across the street. And after watching my parents teach, there was no way I was ever going to be a teacher. And then there are moments in my life that just didn't change me. They didn't just change my plans, they changed me. Moments that forced me to grow in ways that I never asked for, and I certainly wouldn't have chosen it for myself. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a proud mom to 4 babies. And when people ask me how old they are, I tell them 19, 14, 10, and forever 10. Our son Gideon was born with a rare kidney disease. He fought through his first transplant, beat back a virus that claimed it, and survived cancer caused by the treatment itself. But in 2024, just 11 days before his second transplant, he lost his final battle. And even in those hard moments, I found purpose, strength, and a deeper understanding of what really matters. My husband and I were able to hold our babe into and out of this world. We were able to love him for his entire existence. And Gideon didn't just fight, he lived. He showed us that joy isn't something you wait for. It's something you have to choose in the thick of it. And I learned from you in those moments. I learned that being real, especially when it's difficult, is one of the most important things we can do for each other. Some of you are headed into the military, and I thank you. Please stay in touch so we can support you. Many of you are headed to college, and I want to remind you it's not a race. Take the classes you can handle. Learn and grow fully. If it takes an extra semester, that's okay. Your mental well-being is always more important than a timeline. Others of you are entering the workforce. You're about to work hard, both physically and mentally. And at the end of the day, that effort will be a reminder of what you are capable of building and accomplishing. And then there are those of you thinking, I don't fit into any of those categories, Cov. I want you to hear this clearly. That's okay too. My hope for you is that you're brave enough to change when you recognize your plans aren't working. Accepting a reality you never wanted is a grueling, never-ending process. The first step is acknowledging a broken plan does not mean a broken life. For a long time, I fought starting those changes. I held on tightly to the version of life I thought I was supposed to have. Every unexpected turn didn't take me off that track. It led me exactly where I needed to be, which is with you today. Congratulations, class of 2026. Stay up. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Mrs. C. Now we're going to invite Mr. Johns and our Cedar Springs Board of Education to the stage as we present the class of 2026 and their diplomas.
You guys ready? You know who's first?
All right, class of 2026, here we go. Row 1, please rise and head to the stage. All right, and audience, as they make their way across this stage, please be respectful. Everyone's here tonight to see and hear someone's name as they make their way across the stage. So to kick things off, here we go, Zachary Adams. Alessa Elber. Isaac Alcala. Isaac Altman. Abigail Anderson. Daisy Anderson. Spencer Anderson. Madison Austin. Caleb Austin. Austin Averill. Zoe Avila. Grant Barden. Tyler Beck. Ryan Beamer. Kaylee Beltnick. Sid Bender. Zachary Bennett. Quentin Bergman.
Well done, Hugh.
Jake Beverwick. Mitchell Bohr. Allison Butler. Gavin Bixby. Aljania Campbell. Faith Carlson. Nolan Carlton. Raina Carlton. Blake Carpentier. Jared Carroll. Marcus Caruso. Nicole Cherry. Brianna Clark. Alexa Cohn. Paige Cook. Juliana Cox. Michael Coy. Caleb Kramer. Wyatt Davis. Sean Davis. Paige Davis. Ian Decker. Thomas Demick. Kaylin Dennis. Connor Dieters. Anne-Marie DeWitt. Maddox DeWitt. Connor Dines. Caden Dreyer. Andrew Durso. Luke Egan. Riley Eldred. Cara Emery. Blake Fallon. Cash Farrand. Audra Fessenden. Sierra Playfield. Kendall Fisk. Phoebe Fisk. Kelly Flynn. Emma Foster. Jacob Frolich. Brinley Gage. Lucas Galloway. Isabella Galperin. Row 1, stay standing, stay standing. Row 2, please rise and make your way to the stage. Row 1, you may be seated. Kira Gates. Peyton Gatier. Amaya Gomez. Eric Gonzalez. Bailey Green. Ava Green. Cassandra Grenier. McKenna Grenier. Natalie Grenier. Austin Grace. Aiden Grace. River Guerrero. Zachary Hawk. Natalie Hahn. Jaden Hallowell. Connor Hansen. Douglas Hardy. Carly Harrison.
Oh, I did. You best believe it. Oh, you best believe it.
James Haroon. Maya Henges. Cameron Hess. Ethan Hess. Devin Higgins. Noah Hilton. Lucy Holtz. Oliver Holt. Landon Howard. Darnell Howard. Zachary Huff. Egypt Huff. Hunter Hearns. Emily Irwin. Seth Jaggers. Marissa Jarash. Lucas Johnson. Catherine Johnson. Jace Johnson. Brendan Johnson. Justin Jones. Caden Kelly. Kelvin Carriage. Chloe Carish. Dustin Knapp. Kylie Kupka. Jackson Crick. Ryan Ladd. Rafael Riga. Ethan Lee. João Limos Nunez. Mason Litz. Mason Locke. Lucia Lyons. Rylan Magoon. Lyndon Majorzak. Noah Mallory. Heath Malone. Landon Maurer. Haley McCarthy. Marcus McCarty. Aiden McClurkin. Callan McCullough. Ryan McDermott. Ava Mead. Row 2, stay standing. Row 3, you may rise and make your way to the stage. Ryan Merrill. Jordan Matoxen. Caden Meach. Mackenzie Moreland. Beatrice Mombelli. Emma Morden. Brendan Morris. Max Morris. Riley Munger. Jessica Munoz. Brian Nesbitt. Jenna Nicholson. Brooklyn Nofke. Sierra Noller. Cheyenne Noel. Hazel Nazkowski. Charlie Nienhuis. Kendra O'Brien. Chloe O'Dowd. Evan Odrin. Valentina Pacchiarini. Tracy Pata. Brianna Page. Mallory Page. Tyler Parmenter. Ethan Patton. Ethan Paulson. Ella Peck. Trent Perez. Chloe Pierce. Gloria Piskin. Brooklyn Plum. Anawak Pangatena. Javen Proper. Noah Proant. Jaden Puckett. Martina Puel Sanchez. Gavin Punches. Jaden Randall. Ricardo Rao. Logan Reedus. Serenity Reese. Wesley Reed. Emily Reisig. Blake Risch. Leo Roberts. Lillian Rosenberger. Isaiah Salinas. Marley Salisbury. Emerson Sanborn. Adrian Sanchez. Matthew Sanders. Chase Sarniak. Henry Satterthwaite. Bo Savage. Gabriel Shim. Starlet Schrader. Blake Schultz. Abigail Schultz. Allison Scott. Chloe Shadley. Jake Shears. Cassandra Sherman. Okay, row 3, stay standing. Row 4, you may rise and come to the stage. Row 3, you may be seated. Ethan Schaffner. Jackson Simons. Caden Sissel. Ian Skellens. Kaylin Skinner. Jeremiah Slager. Alana Smith. Aaliyah Smith. Antonio Smith. Daniel Smith. Dominic Smith. Jacob Smith. Jasmine Smith. Sophie Smith. Spencer Snow. Phoenix Spittler. Ian Stearns. Alexis Stencil. Ethan Turvine. Alexis House. William Thorpe. Justin Tompkins. Jaden Thompson. Kyla Torin. Annabella Tovar. Ajartu Chawley. Dakota Traxler. Brandon Trent. Tiana Tubbs. Benjamin Twist. Avery Humphrey. Eliana Yuri. Zachary Vanderhaeg. Tyler Van Heck. Taylor Verdine. Caitlin Verhoeven. Caleb Batunskis. Dylan Vogler. Hunter Wagner. Kellen Wagner Bumstead. Haley Waite. Caleb Walker. Aiden Waller. Elizabeth Workema. Leah Whalen. Nathan White. Evan Whitney. Riley Welcome. Brielle Wildfall. Alana Wiles. Christian Williams Bentema. Adam Lindquist. Branson Wood. Ava Workman. Karis Wright. Jocelyn Yeltz. Courtney Zimmer. Shelley Zimmerman. Both you guys. Salutatorian Emily Stevens and Valedictorian Thomas Hilbert. Row 4, you may be seated. And now, class of 2026, for your farewell address, Natalie Grenier.
Hello, everyone. I know you've been through plenty of speeches today, so I'll make it short. To the class of 2026, as your class president, I wanted to thank you for allowing me the honor of leading you and acting as your voice over the past 4 years. From homecoming week to crazy dress-up days to collecting 171 units of blood this year. It has been incredible to help create memories for each and every one of you. Every event, every tradition, and every shared experience helped shape the spirit of the class. And I could not be more proud to have been a part of it with all of you today. Today we celebrate everything we've accomplished together and the future ahead of us. I challenge you to live every moment to the fullest and work towards your dream with your whole heart and dedication. As we officially become the graduating class of 2026, please join me in turning your tassels from right to left. Congratulations, graduates.
Graduates, please rise and toss those caps. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Have a blessed day. Go Cedar.